Overview of core practice number 3, drafting and publishing. Drafting. After completing the coding activity in core practice 2, interviewing and transcribing, students drafted their narrative. Again, we look to the mentor texts as guides for how the stories could be written. Students were also asked to share the narratives with the person or the subject of the piece for that final approval later on in the drafting process. As the students drafted and worked on each individual draft, we emphasized the fact that they were honoring the individual and that this piece was a representation of that person. We also required students to write in first person. This was in an effort to allow the writer to take on the persona of the subject and hopefully build empathy for them by walking in their shoes. Students really focused in on what content and information would be clumped together. And at times they noticed, I don't have enough. And at other times they realized they were jumping from point to point to point. And rather than creating a true narrative, they were merely typing up all of the different responses to the different questions they had been asked. So through the drafting process, they really got a sense of how you make choices and select key details for the parts of a story to make a whole. In addition, students were able to work on technological literacy here as well by taking a photo and inserting it into a document. They had to discover how to wrap text and format a page to be consistent throughout the book so that the book would have a uniformity to it and look more like a final product than a collection of individual pieces. Publishing. Students submitted the work and the teacher compiled it into a book. Why is this step essential? This step is essential because it is the culmination to the project, and it is the one step toward bringing the project to life. Without the publishing component, the students are again writing the text solely for the teacher, what can be considered an inauthentic audience. Publishing allows the writer to have an authentic audience. Additional thoughts. The responsibility of publishing this book should fall on the students. In our case, being new to project-based learning, the teacher took on this role. However, it may increase the learning for students if they were charged with figuring out how to publish the book for the class or the school. Once the book was bound, we presented it to our principal as a gift, as well as we had extra or additional copies for a classroom resource. The students were thrilled to look at their writing as a part of a whole.